the silence that created time. Once, long before the stars were born, there was only silence. A deep, endless quiet filled the space where the universe would one day stretch its arms. In this silence there was no day or night, no past or future, no sound or movement. There was only the great, unbroken hush. But within this silence lived a lonely being known as the Weaver. The Weaver was neither old nor young, neither man nor woman. They were simply there, floating in the vast nothingness, surrounded by the quiet. The Weaver had no voice, for there was no sound to carry it. They had no eyes, for there was no light to see. Yet they felt the weight of the emptiness around them, and it made their heart ache. One day, though days did not yet exist, the Weaver grew tired of the silence. They reached into the emptiness and gathered the tiniest fragments of nothingness, shaping them between unseen hands. They pulled and twisted, pressed and folded, until at last they held something new. It was small and fragile, like a whisper given form. The Weaver did not know what it was, but they knew it was not silence. With great care, the Weaver placed the fragile thing before them and waited. For a long while, though time did not yet exist, nothing happened. But then softly, the thing began to tremble. A sound, thin and clear, rang out like the chime of a distant bell. The silence shuddered at the noise, recoiling like a living thing. The Weaver, amazed, reached out again and shaped another fragment, then another. Each time, a new sound filled the void, some high, some low, some sharp, some soft. Soon the emptiness was filled with music. The sounds danced and wove together, growing louder and stronger. The silence fought back, trying to swallow the noise, but the Weaver kept shaping, kept creating, until the quiet could no longer hold its power. The sounds grew into a great rhythm, pulsing like a heartbeat. And then, something even more wonderful happened. The rhythm began to stretch. The spaces between the beats grew longer, then shorter, then longer again. The Weaver watched in wonder as the sounds created patterns, rising, falling, repeating. Without meaning to, they had given birth to time. The first moment passed. Then another. Then another. The Weaver laughed, a sound that had never been heard before, and with that laughter light burst into being. The darkness shrank away, and where the light touched, the first stars flickered to life. The music of time grew stronger, and the universe began to breathe. The Weaver, now no longer alone, watched as the stars arranged themselves into galaxies, as planets formed and circled their suns. They saw life stir in the quiet corners of creation, heard the voices of living things join the great song of time. The silence was gone, and in its place was something far greater. A world that moved, that changed, that lived. And so, even now, when the night is deep and the stars shine bright, if you listen very carefully, you can still hear the echoes of that first sound, the moment when silence broke and time began. The Weaver still watches, still shapes, still weaves the unseen threads of existence. But they are no longer lonely. For in the music of the universe, in the turning of days and nights, in the beating of every heart, the Weaver finds their voice. And the story continues. So remember when you close your eyes tonight, that every second, every minute, every hour is a gift, spun from the silence, shaped by the hands of the Weaver, and given to you. Sleep well, for time carries you forward, and the stars will keep watch until morning comes.